Oge bose tulive na kuyalelo tevyo bayevi Amitapendwa ya vintu ifisume vyoto kula kuibukisha Kanate pochimo Wimbo watemenu wakatongi Awazunga wajita katongi Nakula kuibukisha kateka Kaibuku muna kapona Neseko siove pameso Yangu ama umebaya Iyaba Iyaba ume Ya iyaba ume Iyaba Kateka wabantu Iyaba ume Twakulila Lelo twakulila Iyaba ume Shika kukonke milimo shove Eti kume mo pulondolo la vale Lilo mwingi
Iseko wengi mwakwete Iseso wengi mwakwete Mwaya Mwaya Mwende wino tata wesu
Katushi muchi wakege Wali bomba kale Lomba mwatuja tuleli lake Ukula bevyo wachito mwingi Ibiseko wapagiri okwingi Ukuchinjo lusako kumoneko busaka Mama, utituwa na basiani Chagwa katusi
Today we stand at a crossroads, not just of politics, but of conscience. The passing of our humble president, Mr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu, is not only a moment of mourning, it is a moment of reckoning. Let this be a message to every future politician of Zambia. Power is not a crown. It is a responsibility. You are not above the people, you are born of them. You are raised by their trust, and you are judged by how you honor it. What we witnessed during President Lungu's health challenges must never happen again. No family should be dragged through courtrooms while grieving. No widow should plead for dignity. No orphan should wait for justice to bury their father. This is not the Zambia we were meant to be. Let us start over. Let us rebuild, not just our institutions, but our hearts. Let the death of President Lungu remind us that we are each other's keeper. That love is not weakness, it is our greatest strength. That the Bible commands us to care for the widow, the orphan, and the stranger. And that true leadership begins with compassion. We only have one Zambia. Let us raise her high, not with slogans, but with service. Let us show love, not just in words, but in action. Let us unite, not just in grief, but in purpose. To the Lungu family, we are with you. To every citizen, your pain matters. To every leader, your legacy begins now. One Zambia, one nation, one heart.
To kill PF. And the same people should be presiding over his 10th memorial. The same people should be putting his ghost to rest forever. And we are watching. We can't accept that. That's why people are saying, what's going on in Zambia? What's going on? Because I don't want to say people were happy and excited when Mr. Sata passed on. Because that's a fact. You can check it out for yourself. I don't want to say from day one, after Mr. Sata died, people began trying to destroy his memory by destroying PF.
To put it very in clear context, you are saying when Mr. Sata died, some people celebrated.
Yes.
They even began to campaign immediately.
Yes. Yes.
They saw it as an opportunity to get to office.
Yes. So that is a fact. And now, the same people went further when they got power in 2021 to destroy his party. And tomorrow they want to attend the memorial to make sure that even his party dies with him forever. We can't allow that. So for me, I'm waiting between now and tomorrow morning to see what happens. How can you allow somebody who has murdered your son or your daughter and you are still mourning to come and attend the funeral and we need to speak at the funeral?
But how good your son
was. And you know about it, you say, wait a minute, what's happening? And I think I can just say the whole thing, I summed it up when I spoke to one guy. I said, because how can you, Ambassador, a Catholic, be remembered in a Jehovah's Witness hall? Yeah. In the 10th anniversary, or how do you get
to be dishonored?
How do you get remembered in a SDA church when everyone knows that you're Catholic and so on? And the state insists. And the worst part is that I have learned that the Secretary to Cabinet is Catholic.
Yes, he is.
And so he's the deputy, Oliver Kalabo. They're Catholic, and they should have told government to say, look, how these things are done. Especially Patrick Angwa, who is a practicing Catholic church member, and I've seen him in church even giving mass, Holy Communion and so on. He should have said, wait a minute, we want to participate in this program. That's good. So let us engage the church to with the late President Sata.
Alela ndata alebwererapo nakabiri aletupuma kuti mwasumina imwe kuti mwasumina limbe aba kuti basumina kwangaloko nimasoberayo nimasobera. One time I was in Mkobeko, he put me in there. He must say thank you that I'm the president of the country. If I was to do what he did to me, he wouldn't even be going to church the way he was in church yesterday.
I'm handing over power to myself. And when I come back, I will lock up that chap, and this time he will die in prison. Now me, I'm seated here. You think you can come back and lock me up and kill me?
Electoral Commission of Zambia.
Yes.
Registration across the country from the 13th of October to the 11th of November 2025. If you are 18 years and above, a Zambian citizen and in possession of a Green National Registration Card, NRC, you qualify to register. If you registered in 2020 or during continuous registration of voters and you still have your voter's card, you don't need to register again. During this registration period, ECZ will be providing the following services: new registrations, replacement of lost, destroyed or defaced voters' cards, transfers from one polling station to another, claims for omission on the register of voters, corrections of clerical errors, and removal of deceased voters. Registration centers will be open throughout the week from 8 hours to 17 hours. Register now. It's your right. It's your choice. This message is brought to you by the Electoral Commission of Zambia.
Good day and welcome to today's broadcast. Thank you very much. Today is what we call People's Forum. It's your show. You immediately begin to call now. You don't have to wait for my analysis. But here are the heads up. Today we remember the late president, Dr. Edgar Chagwalungu, who passed on 5th June 2025. Today marks 5 months since we lost the late president. He hasn't been put to rest. There has been a standoff between the government and the family. Last month, we were informed that the two parties had decided to settle, negotiate outside court, and two mediators were appointed in Archbishop Dr. Alik Banda, who's the Archbishop of the Metropolitan Lusaka Archdiocese, and Dr. H.K. Banda, Joshua Banda, who's senior pastor at North Mid Assemblies of God, is also president of the Pentecostal Assemblies of God in Zambia, and is also heading the African one. The two are supposed to resolve the issue of the funeral, the burial, and the detailed programs that brought the current impasse. We haven't seen much progress. 2 weeks ago, we saw the family spokesperson, Makebi Zulu, regret that the family appointed mediator in Dr. Alik Banda was under assault, sustained assault from the state and from their online rogue media. And he regretted that this action was like it was deliberate to allow for the standoff to continue. And we've since seen affiliates and influencers of the UPND begin to insult the First Lady, the family, and the late president. Today, I saw a post, again, very regrettable. I saw another influencer yesterday literally insulting the former First Lady. Totally unacceptable, totally un-African, outside what you'd call Ubuntu. Then another guide for you is the voter registration exercise. Today, the Electoral Commission of Zambia insisted that the reports that are alleging that the exercise has been rescheduled is supposed to close on 11th November, that has been rescheduled to February 2026. The ECZ says we are not aware, we have not sanctioned any extension. The period of voter registration ends on 11th November. The ECZ insisted, and it also released some voter results where they've registered so far 1.1 million from when they started the open registration exercise, the continuous registration exercise. But in this period, they've only registered 500,000. So I wondered why they were insisting on 1.1 million, as if to show that the exercise is successful. Just now, I was speaking to a senior chief from Luapula who called me, and they saw my alert that I'm going live, and they regretted that. The exercise has been a sham in Luapula to their knowledge, and officers just would come for 3 days. Just when people were gathering, they were going. Sometimes they would cite the issue that they had no fuel in the generator set, there was no power, they had no ink. The exercise in Luapula, according to the senior chief I've just spoken to, is it literally hasn't taken place. The few numbers that are there, they wonder if there are even numbers that are there. So Then you saw the Electoral Commission chairperson, Mwangala Zalomis, was in Western Province and in Lumpa, and she was saying the exercise is wonderful. Both the one that is being done for NRC issuance by Home Affairs and the exercise. She said she was very pleased with the results. Yet you see these complaints in Muchinga, Northern Province, Luapula, Copperbelt, and other places. We've alleged that government, ECZ, is engaged in what is called voter suppression. Let's play the advert.
Registration across the country from the 13th of October to the 11th of November 2025. If you are 18 years and above, a Zambian citizen and in possession of the Green National Registration Card, NRC, you qualify to register. If you registered in 2020 or during continuous registration of voters and you still have your voter's card, you don't need to register again. During this registration period, ECZ will be providing the following services: new registrations, replacement of lost, destroyed or defaced voters' cards, transfers from one polling station to another, claims for omission on the register of voters, corrections of clerical errors, and removal of deceased voters. Registration centers will be open throughout.
Ifwe nga fwe beekala kyalo tukaane fye okutatatula ekifo kya amendment. After my elections nakiranda okutiira ati ife ali mu constitution ye government ireteeka ali mu opposition. So immediately 2021 ero balina okukita constitution amendment ng'ekyali kya number 1 panto napa kushita oppose ubuteeko n'ekyo balimu n'efirubo ifyo obuteeko bwa mulini omwana ndokwe batero tuya ku my elections ero beso balandi okutya tiyo constitution amendment kwena inenga parliament fe kulubali lwandi inende ekikaana katwishi mwebekala kyalo mwebeni pantu inendera nda pamutima wandi bati kabiri inendera ndokutira ati ine pamukumo wini ndi mfumu y'abantu pamukumo wini ndi mfumu.
Government has initiated talks with the family of former President Edgar Lungu to amicably resolve the matter of his burial. President Hakainde Hichilema says the government team is in South Africa holding discussions with the family.
The most important thing is that we hope to resolve it. Our team is there. They're engaging the family. And any support, Your Honor, we can get from family members such as yourselves would be appreciated to help us put closure to this unfortunate situation.
And President Hichilema has called for the speedy conclusion of discussions to elevate bilateral relations between Zambia and Zimbabwe from the Joint Permanent Commission, JPC, to a binational commission, BNC.
Zimbabwe and Zambia have a lot to do on the economic front. Development of our two countries' economies, infrastructure, Kariba Dam, power stations, given the climate change, negative effects of climate change, we need to do more to manage our common assets. And so we can derive more value from those assets, but also energy diversification, what you're doing on your coal, thermal power stations. Vice President, on our side of the border, we are doing the same, because that's a resource God gave us. I think nobody should tell us not to invest in the resource God gave us while we have no energy. The region is short of energy because of partially climate change.
And President Hichilema reaffirmed Zambia's support for Zimbabwe in engaging countries and multilateral organizations to lift sanctions.
Zambia and Zimbabwe are truly one family. Truly one family. Those that led our two countries before us have carried on that tradition, that recognition that we are one. Not just bonded by history of colonial heritage, but truly, yes, the history, having been one country at some point, Federation of Rhodesia and Nyasaland, But before that, our people have always been one.
Meanwhile, Zimbabwe's second vice president, Colonel Kembo Mohadi, retired, who is in Zambia to inspect sites where Zimbabwean liberation heroes are buried, said elevating relations to a BNC will accelerate the implementation of joint projects.
The proposed elevation of the Joint Permanent Commission to a bi-national commission will inject impetus into the implementation of joint projects and programs. I should here recognize the strategic importance of Africa's Agenda 63 and the African Continental Free Trade Area, encouraging local production and regional collaboration to build resilient economies on the continent.
He also thanked Zambia for its continued support in the cost to live sanctions and for the solidarity extended during the liberation struggle.
We commend Zambia support for the call for the removal of illegal sanctions that were imposed on Zimbabwe by some Western countries. We assure you, Mr. President, of Zimbabwe's unwavering position to continue to work closely with Zambia at regional, continental, and international fora.
And Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation Minister Mulambo Haimbe said technical.
Today we are hosting the People's Forum. You begin to call immediately. We've picked 3 heads of argument. It's been 5 months since the late president passed on. If you have any comment on that, please call. The matter remains unresolved. You have a country that has moved on, like you have not put your late president to rest. This is clearly a worrying matter, and government seems to have put it behind their back. The insults are back, the ridicule is back against the family, and we are also discussing. Looks like, because I've opened up the lines, so you are allowed to call anytime. Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Ambassador, this is Mulenga calling from the UK.
Mulenga, make your contributions.
I would love to my first speak will be to talk about the issue of the late president.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know if people in the government do get advice from people that have been in those situations before.
Mm-hmm.
We had Madam Mulenga Kapwepwe, and maybe I can also pass my condolences over the passing of her daughter. Mm. She explained very well how such a situation would be handled, of which that has been the thinking of many people.
Yeah.
It takes the head of state just to come out and say, okay, let it be, Definitely, if the president was to do that, he was going to gain more than he may be thinking. You know how Zambians are. When someone do something good in that area, definitely they're going, and it was going to win him favor, But I don't know where they get advice from these people, because this you can't have a former head of state who died 5 months ago up to now. The coffin is still there, and people are okay with that. That's what's supposed to be the case. Let the wishes of the family be respected, and everything go on as per so that we can move on as a country. And then I don't know, on an ambassador issue, I can also talk about the issue of voter registration. I received some very, very sad information from Northern Province, where polling agents, they haven't been given a lot of material to use. People have reported for work, but when you go there to register, you find that no, we don't have those papers that they're using. We don't have the laminators. I don't know what they call them. No, they are exchanges one after the other, which has led to people now getting frustrated, and they no longer want to go and register. So I don't know what our members of parliament from those areas are doing to ensure that people do participate in this noble process, because time is moving. And the period that is have given, chances that they may increase the number of days are very slim. So maybe it's just an encouragement to a member of parliament in those areas to ensure that they help their people to go and register or speak out where they see that things are not going correct. Thank you so much, Ambassador.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Today we are hosting a live program, and it's what we call People's Forum. It is your show. You make your contributions. Do I have a caller, Justice? Do I have a caller? Do I have a caller? Oh, okay. Just hold on, then I put you online. There's a caller here. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
My name is Edmund. I'm calling from South Africa.
Yes, Edmund. Make your contributions.
We just want to appreciate what you're doing. You know, every time we hear one-sided things, but now with your at least even us in the diaspora, we're able to get the full picture. No, thank you very much for what you're doing. That's what I wanted to say.
Thank you very much. Thank you for that encouragement. Yes, we bother to give a balanced story. So we are discussing the matter regarding the late president. He has not been put to rest. There were 2 appointed mediators, and their work don't seem to have taken off. And the matter just lies in abeyance. Voter registration. Muchinga, Northern Luapula provinces are complaining that there is literally, this exercise is not taking place. Remember when there was a national registration exercise where they were even issuing NRC by hand, and the Minister of Home Affairs, when Squeeze said he was going to send back officers, that has never taken place. But when you see the reports in Southern Province, Western Province, the chairperson for the ECZ was in Western Province the other day, and she issued a glowing report. She said NRC issuance was going very well, so was voter registration. In other places, you are hearing of load shedding. You are hearing that they have no diesel for their generators, that they have no ink, that they have no material for voter registration. That's a matter of worry. What's been your experience on your side? Lastly, there's been an issue of elections in Tanzania. Our head of state, President Hakainde Hichilema, went to the inauguration, and he received a barrage of attacks from across the board because, number one, that election is bloody. There's been an alleged massacre that has taken place of protesters prior to that. Prior to that is that the major political parties were banned from participating in the election. 2 major political parties. Entirely, their candidate, Tundu Lissu, is in prison, and his party was not allowed to participate in the election. And when on the day of elections, there were protesters, and that's where we hear the massacre took place of over 700 people. And the president traveled to Tanzania, even gave a lecture, urged people not to participate in protest. He gave himself as an example that he lost 6 times, and he restrained his supporters to go to the street. Now that literally now attracted even more venom from across Africa, where people felt that President Hakainde Hichilema was being irresponsible. First of all, you can't condemn freedom of expression when the people who've been banned to participate in an election choose not to participate, and then they decide to protest. Of course, we don't allow violent protests. But when they try to exercise their protest to demonstrate against a decision of that disenfranchises them, you can't say they shouldn't come to the street. Who are you? These are fundamental human rights guaranteed in the Constitution of the Republic of Tanzania, guaranteed at the United Nations, in the Human Rights Declaration Charter, and in the United Nations Civil and Political Rights. Who are you to say they shouldn't? The statement by the president was totally irresponsible. He demonstrated, he thought he could export the kind of politics he's doing in our country, where he has not allowed protests, demonstrations, picketing. He's attempting to steal the largest political party in our country. He's abused human rights, and he thought he could give a lecture, to Samia Suluhu Hassan. Now, there's a brief history of Tanzania. In 1961, there were 2 separate republics. Zanzibar was led by a sultanate. Remember, from the 16th century, there is heavy influence of Arabs and Islam in that area, especially the coastal towns of Africa. So Zanzibar was a separate state led by a sultanate. Tanganyika was a separate independent state. Remember, they were briefly colonized by Germany until the World War I and World War II, and they reverted to the British. At independence, there was a revolution that occurred both in Tanzania and in Zanzibar. In Tanzania, they were granted independence in 1961. And in 1964, there was an uprising against the Sultan of Zanzibar. And the two then merged to form what you now call Tanzania, Tanganyika and Tanzania. And since then, we've had presidents in Tanganyika, led first by Julius Nyerere, you know, that towering figure, almost equal to President Kaunda. The two literally were the giants of Africa. Then followed by Ali Hassan Mwinyi. You know, they've an understanding in Tanzania where the vice president comes from Zanzibar and the president comes from mainland Tanzania, mainland Tanganyika. So if the president has come from Zanzibar, the vice president has to come from mainland Tanganyika. It is a standard. So Julius Nyerere was president 1964 to 1985 when he voluntarily resigned and picked his vice president at the time, who was from Tanganyika, who was from Zanzibar, Ali Hassan Mwinyi, a Muslim. Ali Hassan Mwinyi was taken over by former Foreign Affairs Minister Benjamin Mkapa, 1995 to 2005. Then we had Jakaya Kikwete, also former Foreign Affairs Minister, who took over from Kikwete 2005 to 2015. Then you had John Pombe Magufuli, who died in office from 2015 to 2021. From Zanzibar, Samia Suluhu Hassan was the vice president to John Magufuli. So when he died, she immediately became the president. It's a multi-party state since 1991, but they have a political party called Chama cha Mapinduzi, which has been very, very strong. And the renewal of having a president every time from the party, I think has given lease of life to Chama cha Mapinduzi. It's like ANC. It's not like UNIP that died with just one leader. So that's a state. So Madam Samia Suluhu has departed from what we know of Tanzania, and now she has conducted a massacre. Even SADC, you know, SADC is very favorable. SADC is it's like a gentleman's club. For SADC to say your election was not free and fair and it didn't meet minimum standards, that means your election was bad. If I go to a mwene wa president wesu wabu tukilako, wana mkupanga ichimbuya kulia, and he was even lecturing the people of Tanzania. Out of place, out of courtesy, out of diplomacy. There are many people that who discuss that are alleging economic interest with Tanzania. I'll discuss that briefly. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Good evening, Honorable Mwamba.
Good evening.
I'm calling from Congo, from Kashobwe.
Bayama peshiri ya murishani.
How when tulepopoka ya wino?
Endita.
Chafwa fi okulanda ko kwinapa no.
Emkwai.
The problem that I have is Tanzania. I think if I'm for to alanda po kali to bwelera pofie to landa pofie to bwelera pofie. So I think let me concentrate first of all, but the new one, the latest one, here Tanzania. Honorable Mwamba, if you remember when President Kaunda was incarcerated during the Chilua regime, we had the former president or the first president of Tanzania who came to mediate with President Chilua and talk to Kenneth Kaunda. So what he did, he came to State House and he went to the president by that time, President Chiluba and said, "Can I see my friend? Can I talk to my friend?" And the negotiation was done. But the way it was done in a systematic way, not whereby supporting what was going on. My surprise is our president, Banina Nendeke Chero Rapuka, what are Mkodama Bands? We are Tanzania. We've seen how people have died in Tanzania. We've seen how people, first of all, Tanzania, Bachitobu Kuruku, Bashmia na internet, so that people cannot get the real glimpse of what happened in Tanzania. But later on, they turn it on, and we have all the pictures and all the videos that went through. Our president has got an embassy in Tanzania, and they've got intelligence people. However, to me now, information before Tawaresta travel. I think I'm speaking to the right person. Honorable Mwamba, you've been in foreign service for a long period of time. Before a president travels, he has to have the whole lot of the data. No, but how can we go and support massacre? And we've been friends since way back long. Now Tanzania. Twayachitashani chintu cha msango yu. Twayachita support unkarwe abantu n'abafwa. Ero nomba twasayinina na pa platform no kulanda napo. When we know very well, our friends in Tanzania, they've lost their loved ones, their beloved ones. They've lost the youths. And majority who died are the youths. We, the youths of Zambia, we've been surviving. We've been surviving in Tanzania by doing all sorts of business that we've been doing. All I can just say, kama kuna Watanzania ambao wanasikiliza hii program yetu, Watanzania ndugu zetu, kaka zetu, dada zetu, baba zetu, wote wajomba, tunamiomba msamaha. Huyo mzee alikuja kutusimamia sisi, yuko peke yake. Hatuko naye, hatusimami na yeye, hafu yuko peke yake. Maneno ambayo alitumia alikuwa yeye, sio hayahusu wa Zambia. Hatuwezi tukasapoti vitu ambavyo vilifanyika huko Tanzania. Huyo ujinga ambao walitumia na uuni walitumia peke zao. Hatupo nao. Kama Wazambia wengi tumeshakasirika. Hii inamaanisha kwamba the next year we are having elections. This is the same thing that we are going to have. If a man can go and support a woman to do such things, this is what we are going to as Zambia. Wazambia, stand up and see what is happening in Tanzania, because the next time we are going to have this Tanzanian president coming to kushangilia our president to do the same thing. Sisi tunamiomba msamaha wa Tanzania. Tunamiomba msamaha. We are not part of that as Zambians. We are not part of that and wouldn't support that. We've been friends as way back. And we will continue to be friends and we will support you, and we are not going to support that nonsense that went through. Thank you, Honorable.
Oh, that was an emotional a submission from a regular caller from Kashowe in the DRC across in Cherenge there. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Good evening, Ambassador Mwamba, and good evening, my fellow callers and Zambia at large.
Good evening.
Zephania, I'm calling from Lusaka, Zambia.
Yes, Zephania.
I want first to contribute on the issue of our late President Edgar Chagwalungu. May he so rest in peace. I know it's now exact 5 months that he hasn't been buried because of the government, which they've been trying to say promised us that they are going to make sure that the family and the government, they work together so that they resolve this issue. At the moment now, this is 5 months from Mwamba. I think even the Lungu family, they should just accept that they wait until we change government in 2026 so that President Edgar Chagwa Lungu can be given a dignified burial, because 5 months which we have waited is longer enough. We have only remained with should be 8 months. We can wait until we bury him. For now, because government, nothing tangible come from the government, because President Hakainde Hichilema, as you can see, if he can rush where people have died, massacre, what about the former president? Mwebabe mbamulanda teach kwa nkabachimona kuma mpalanya. Not monakari efivaleshitava President Hakainde Hichilema. His focus is for him to retain in power in 2026. But the truth of the matter is that he has created now bilateral problem between Zambia and Tanzania. Tanzanians are people who are good, and they are people, again, when they turn their mind, they are very difficult people. So what President Hichilema did by going to lecture them, to tell them when people, they are still mourning their beloved ones, and I've heard the story about 7 footballers have gone missing, and there's another problem in Tanzania. And the president didn't pay much attention. He rushed instead of trying to investigate and to say, how am I going to resolve? Zambia, we have known as the hub of resolution center. We have built, we have resolved issues here in Zambia. We have liberated countries like Botswana, Namibia, Zimbabwe, Malawi. Those are the countries that we have been together, and Zambia, they know that as a landlocked country, we always played a key role. Today, no one, even President Hakainde Hichilema, Mwamba, take this, mark my word, 2026 President Hakainde Hichilema will be the former head of state. Who is going to use him to go and resolve issues the way he's doing issues? The answer is no. Because a person like, I'll remember when Vasata came in 2011, we had an issue between Zambia and Angola. Vasata had to involve Dr. Kenneth Kaunda to go and resolve the issue of Zambia and Angola. And this is where we have now good bilateral relationship with Angola. So President Hakainde Hichilema, he was in opposition, not without understanding how to govern and how to handle issues of bilateral relationship between the countries. And when you look at today, look at Botswana, Namibia, and Zimbabwe. They have agreed that they'll be using NRC. Why have we excluded Zambia? When we were at the center of helping those countries to be liberated, we were supposed to say Zambia, Zimbabwe, Botswana, the 4 countries which are there, we are supposed to be using NRC. Now, when HHH leave office in 2026, and if Salu, president, also won't be there, I can assure you the next president is going to give sanction against Zambia. We'll be using a visa to go, and it will be very difficult to trade with Tanzania because of what he has done. So Zambians, let's stand up and make sure the issue of ECZ, let me talk about as I conclude. If you remember, Mwamba, on 3rd August, I had written an article when I said they are working behind ECZ, they are working behind trying to favor UPND. A lot of people didn't pay much attention, but when it came into Daily Nation, that's when we saw a lot of now ECZ trying to engage the stakeholders. And I can share to you today, Mwamba, I was summoned from that article. I was summoned that I was supposed to go and appear. But when I responded to them, they never asked me to go there. So there is something which is happening. And Zambians, we must stand and defend our country. If we are not standing as Zambians, I can assure you, ECZ, they are busy trying to work because ECZ chairperson, commissioners, those are UPND cadres, well-known UPND cadres. We don't expect them to give us free and fair elections. So Zambians, we must stand up and speak. Article 21, the Constitution of Zambia, it gives us the freedom of expression. Let's not fear to talk. Let's talk so that we can stand and defend this country. Article 1 of the Constitution of Zambia gives us that we must defend and protect this country. We are the ones who are supposed to, because we are the ones who are feeling pain. Look at this country today. There's no electricity I'm talking about when I'm right now, Mwamba. No electricity, no water, no what, but he's saying he needs another term. How? We cannot continue with this government which is not listening. President is not listening. Government, they are just telling that, and I'm disturbed, Mwamba. I have seen one of the platforms where they are saying Edgar Lungu, he died Kwenyu, and all those who have died Kwenyu. You know, when you look at these guys, do they have the heart? Does the president HH read, and he reads those and he keeps quiet, and he expects Zambians to be happy and support him? Zambians, let's stand in numbers and remove and bring peace in 2026. Thank you very much for giving me that opportunity. I wanted just to speak my mind.
Thank you very much. Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from. Mkwaiwa Munkongela ndeni pona imwe.
Mwamba inefo ningalanda first kwambira pa chililo. Ichililo chakaena pali bode aba fyashi. Kutina lande fya kweba chimwe chinano kweba ti vaipa ya bruru wenu vaya muposa mumpanga. Shibali abantu abepere ula bruru wenu va muposa mumpanga. Bakasakamana ile bode vaposere mumpanga tete basakamana. Chiri kuri mwene ba muntu ya ukufayo mubiri oko ba uposa noko ushika mutende baraba ntukuti ba mugustane fe barefo achikurubena umurimo wa kufunya umuntu pacharo nabavumba so tete tuburi abantu abashikweto orusetu babikemo because abantu abalebo mfya amano ya kuipa umuntu ninshuru seta muri no mamurefa mubapere bakwate orusero akushika umuntu tete bakwate so chiri kuri ifufu yebe na Zambia fwe bakwete nkumbu because ama cover up yapitirira funa arandira tama cover up yapitirira urupota pabo furu warufyanya pali chichiriro but abantu bonse baseka urupwa ushe barefo kwibo mubiri wa bene boninshi chinshi barefo kwibiro mubiri wa bene nomba bene ba mubiri ba mona ati barefo kwibo mubiri bafure basaka makata aba bantu nishi bachirafa kwibo mubiri tiyo tirofo tushike muchinji takuri no kuromba ko bwerero so ine ndero mbako fe Muzambia mwali ngata muri abantu abali bonse ushe ba Mwamba barabene aba ama international human rights barabene aba ishire funyina baba HH munani kane mu kifungo ushe paru balirwa mishikire na paru balirwa mfwa takuri kwa aba kunse ya charo abengemini na mpako bati umubiri uyu warara mu kibote pantu ukupitira fe mumikalire Yesu n'emitekero Yesu uyu mubiri kutuwapwisha na 2 years pantu kuri abantu abashisumina ifirubo bero nacho batini no uyu mubiri pantu tabafwa abantu ukukorongana pamo abali ngene nga ba PF pantu PF yale tungurura uli omuntu so nga bali pera free time yako bati mubiri wise mu Zambia mwina Zambia uli onse achiteshani arosheko abantu balingiro okufuma Zambia yonse n'abafora na t-shirt ya uli omuntu so bana kuru baliro aboni nshini campaign icho kintu tabafwa abantu kukorongana ukushindiko umuntu areteka no mukushiko umuntu akwete chirongani no chikuru panti chirongani no akwete chikuru na ngapapera nga baranda tubode ireisa bafure babika ama restrictions so bukaitemo bwakana monokwe bati ba PF bakoronganikire pachiriro icho chine cy'abantu bwafya pali no insta bayimina pako na ora PF so imfo yaba kateka yali beramu affected umulando wakwe bati baratina ati it's a part of campaign panto abantu bakesa arosha abengi orama t-shirt yaba PF yakamoneka engi so kumenzo yabo bena kumona kwati chastasha nchavipa olo chimfecho ningaranda wa Mwamba number 1 twetu aishiba character ya muntu na tuaishiba character ya muntu na fyonse fikara chitika tukeshuko kwe batu uyu muntu tesi tusunguke nga tuaishiba tu uyu muntu nikabwarara ushero mwamfati nayiba chishi mwara saka mwara asungukira so number 1 twetu aishiba bushe i government ile tuteka ni government ya musangosha ni government ya chenjera ni government ya chenjera isumina kalira renga na bantu abakayerere ukumoneka ababi na bantu abakayere ukumoneka bakabwalala kabiri mulando akweba tintungurushisha abamushi majinyasi nibara abantu kwa dinafyari bafyabo bali abantu aba mukukuru tanto feta bate twise ofisambirire pabutungurushi twisa mukurange finto fyo afyarwa nefyo wakula because we muntu cyarira cyobe cyo waratwara na kucharo na bantu fe basalira obutungurushi bwambira mukati kanganda mukati ka family ofyo tungururo ruparobe ne charo fo katungurura because abanenso aba Tanzania ifoto alikara mwaka upa beot bena nicho kali tabai kara kona Mozambique bai kara fe one part of Zambia to alikwatira abanenso barebe batori bamwachusa ni bashari bena Zambia abanenso baku Tanzania bare bomba mu mikoti mu manyi munana manda bali kwete bakaunda na bamarawi bare umanaka pikware bano kweba cho apanomba kuri kuvota ku Malawi bonse baraba bomba mu mikoti babafunya kuri bakaunda tikabye ni mu station mu support to alikara na bena ko ali baba cha murenga bashan Tanzania ni Tanzania na Zimbabwe yashalira Tanzania to alikatana sana so baraba ne soro barufye ndupo shabo tufure to arozesha chapamo teti turi amugustaka mfoti umuntu umurando wakweba ati no mamona fyo umuntu nishinaho mapange akwate mutima wako akwata nise pera shifure shashibwo ko batira ngo ushkushinga fwa uyu muntu wa musango FT chasa kama nyomoyo wa muntu tantu ngala saka mane myo shabantu alitemwa Tanzania namba 1 ngatore chiririshi kuruko aruro urufuire oko akoserera sana not kumuntu umo uwapaisha abantu pamurando wakufwaisha ubutungurushi so chiri kuri ifwe neve torera ndefya ko bato ama NRC ama voters card bali shibakale pantecho bare chitacha kuchitikisha abantu ni deliberate nangu benga twingaranda shani ayama materials tete yachitesha tete batwale ko pantu ni strategy wakabora nga baresa mukwiba panga ndayobe bara panga strategy ofu bara kuchita attack ofu bara bomfya fyansonshi.
Thank you, Bane, thank you. Thank you, my brother, thank you.
We know the value of peace, security, and stability. I want to appeal to the people of Tanzania, mainland, Zanzibar, Pemba, and others, that what you have enjoyed over years, decades, must be protected at all costs. At all costs. You cannot try the opposite. You cannot experiment the opposite. To have a breakdown in the rule of law, law and order. You don't have to look too far. Just look at countries that are afflicted by this menace. I call it a menace. And once you lose it, you probably never regain it properly. It will linger on and destabilizing children in school, destabilizing families, essentially taking away the time, the resources, and all the efforts meant for development. That's the quest I decided to place on the table today. And that all of us in this region, on our continent, must work day and night tirelessly to maintain peace, security, stability. For development. Very simple. Peace, security, stability, for development. And there's a lot to be done on the developmental side of the equation. When we are challenged, when we have complaints, we have problems, let's come to one table only. That's the dialogue table. The dialogue table. That's the one which we should use, we should invoke to deal with our challenges of any kind. Madam President, I want to indicate that our political party in Zambia was in opposition for 23 years. I led our party of those 23 years, 15 years. I lost many elections. I had the motivation to go in the streets when we felt that we did not get treated properly during elections. I was always the first one to say, no one goes in the streets. No one. Those who supported us genuinely complained, particularly 2 elections, that I took the responsibility and the leadership that I cannot send my men and women, citizens of Zambia, in the streets to damage property, to kill somebody, because that blood will be on my hands. And I said, we will use democratic processes. And we did. And we were patient. Today we've been privileged to lead our country. And we inherited a country which is peaceful. It's our duty to keep our country peaceful and hand it to those who come after us in peace.
Oh, I thought he said he got a country that was violent. Now he says he got a country that was in peace. Caller, please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
This is Precious from Livingstone.
Precious, make your contribution.
I want to contribute on the party of our former president. You know, today marks 5 months since he was not is not buried up to now, and I fail to understand why the president he cannot just respect the wishes of ECL, because there's no way he can continue insisting that they want to bury our former president as a head of state when the time when he was still alive, he never respected him. He never had time even to invite him. I've never seen him inviting the former president even at Independence Day at State House, like the way Balungu used to do every year, inviting the former president Kenneth Kaunda. Then coming to this issue of Tanzania, honestly speaking, I'm disappointed with him, because here he was saying that he didn't want to see anyone shedding blood, because the blood, it will be on his neck. But how come he went and supported the people, the same president who caused a lot of bloodshed that side? They did the protest because people, they didn't want the same woman. But he went ahead and he made sure that that woman again can rule that nation, which is not right. So let's just, all the opposition leaders, be united. Because to be honest with you, they are going to insist to say, me also I want to contest, even me I want to contest, Baka and HMI, you cannot move him in power. What's needed here is for all of them, opposition, to be united. Let them work together, and they should just choose one person who can contest with Baka and Hichilema. We just need 2 people, 2, not 3 or 4. That's why you see most of them, they take advantage of people of Zambia, because those who don't have a lot of people, those who are not famous, those who are not popular, that's why they can even come up with the ideas of even selling votes and start using corruption just to betray innocent Zambians. But if indeed they love the people of Zambia, they are going to be united, and we are going only to have 2 presidents, 2026, who are going to contest, so that we can move out President Hakainde Hichilema. He's a danger to the nation, and that's the truth. He keeps on giving immunity to criminals, but he wants to be punishing innocent people. You've seen. Myself, I've been appealing to him. He sent me in prison. He instructed officers when I accused him of gassing innocent Zambians. He sent me in prison. But why is he protecting the same gassers who was gassing in time of ECL?
Oh, my dear sister, is it you? Is it you, Inonge, who was charged with criminal defamation of the president?
Yes,
you accused the president of being behind gassing, and you were jailed for 6 months. Yes. Oh, my dear sister, sorry to.
That time I had a child, and my child, she was 3 months. I was in prison there. I suffered. I was being mocked that side with the same cadres for the UPND, those who were in prison there. But now today I'm appealing to him to say, okay, I made a mistake. I accused him, and I'm sorry for that. But now, since he's now in power, let him expose those PF criminals so that even myself, I can see that, yes, I really accused him. Now today I've seen those PF criminals, but he's failing to do that. I've been crying since the time I came out from prison. That was in 2022. So let's do what is right. Otherwise, this government, they don't mean well. So thank you very much. That was my contribution.
Thank you, my dear sister. Thank you. Oh, that was a revelation. That was a revelation from Mercy from Livingstone. I remember her case very well. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
My name is Alfred. I'm calling from Chirabongwe. How are you, Ambassador Emmanuel Mwamba?
I'm very well, thank you.
Yes, sir. Sir, I just want to talk about what happened to, sometimes the member says that umulingo olingiramu abano nabo bakakulingiramu.
Correct.
Number one, they are very disappointed to our president, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, because there is no way you can go to, like the way he did in Tanzania, telling people, just forget about it, just accept the results. How come the president vai makachero chero vaya kuya what maybe has going there to order something? Mwamba, Zambia, we are not. We are in a wrong hands. We are in a wrong leadership, because we have seen it right now, like what the red president of ECL. He used to say that Mukanji Vukisha, you remember me, because we have seen it now. How come people, they are crying there, they have lost their loved one, and then someone is busy saying things which irritating people? Mwamba, please.
Yes,
I just want to even to urge the PF and all the leadership to remain united so that we can kick out this this leadership of Hakainde, because you are sick and tired. My brother Ambassador Mwamba, as I'm speaking right now, here in Zambia, if we talk about load shedding, now they have increased powers just staying for 3 hours. Where he stays, power came around 17, 18 power gone. Now, how are we going to survive? And someone is saying no, you will see all over cadres, they are insulting elderly people, they are insulting even the dead man ECL, and the person is quiet. But Mwamba, this is my appeal. I know that those leaders, tell them to be united, tell them to work in one accord. That's what I can say, Ambassador. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah, today we are discussing those 3 issues: voter registration exercise, the election in Tanzania, where our president went. Many people think that he went to support dictatorship and tyranny, and he didn't recognize the massacre. East Africa community, it has Rwanda, Burundi, Tanzania, Kenya, and Ethiopia, But look at the presidents that turned up. Then there's Great Lakes region, it has 10 presidents. Then there's SADC, it has 16 countries. Only those 3 presidents turned up, and I think 2 prime ministers. Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Mwamba, I'm calling from US.
Yes, sir.
Anonymous.
Anonymous, make your contribution.
Mwamba.
You always are to Pala.
Auyama, le sala turula next year. Namkwate umulimo okulu wakuyabomba kumyesuku. Mwamba ala Johnson.
Yes.
Abantu natwarule chef tufya chitike kuba n'ensuku. Bashikira mu masaka. Ero umbyayi mamu kuya mkulandi fintu fyaddala ngo musango filya. Ngateka Johnson sana. Chimbi Mwamba ekyo mungamona fatu umuntu desperate yakwa kwete. Desperate yakwa kufa obwerera ku buteko futi. Mwamba na mwamone fibale kitakula ku Tanzania. Ni semu ne fibale kita mu Zambia abantu baleru babambi bale bakakaba mbere batashana. Ni semu strategy ale bomfya bale umfana na mayo ulya. Fintu chimo chine cyo alefo kukitaka. Muno mu Zambia natukwata amaliro yakulu ero temu ayicho wafuire. Twale tondonga twakateka malaika la pancho atontonye kwebati. Uyu muntu afuire twayikala panshi n'urupfu twamane nshira tungashikira ati tutoyete batwera ati mucyaro cyesu tamwa babakuru iyo mucyaro cyesu mwari babakuru ushe intambishire kwisa uriya muntu barisho kwa refuna kwa reba n'abakuru ifumo ko shiri abo barifa kwa baya basanga abantu bangaye kala panshi basanga nshire bangakira nishure monapo turi munafyo bunkaro muri yena echo arifu afi guteka ero bamwamba na mwarusha abantu fibaleikala kumyesuku ala nakiripa lelo na entrepreneur abo balanda entrepreneur tapresi ale chita bantu balaba chita depend muri zesco takuli fire chitika ala mucharo chesu muri nsa ero lo muntu ule amkuchita comfort yaba nobe mucharo chimbi esho lelanda is opposite nesho le chita kumyesu Dirole imi na pale ya pabantu lelanda vale kururisha fwalesika no kuseka tatu alishwe fwa waikara ko lefuma oloiso landefi twali kuishwe fwa waba umuntu wa musango file ba Mwamba mwampera next term ala tureni eba ala baka tuseka ele mfashika konkanyapo kuruba baka konkanyapo nawe alefu okuchitiramo echo fitulera ndokwebati na le tontonganya takaya chitefi achite ku Tanzania efu achitire na kunifu kakisa chitati yotu kekala tondo akakenaka kakavukasi aichindikefi amwenono kumono kwebali ichichalo abantu pakutalala omusango filya tekwebati bali tumpa iyo wafuma pa day of play olelanda fimbi following day ole chita fimbi ekuishwa kwati uyu muntu ikuluku te muntu wakonkanya pokuteka ero mufya shfuwa kwa tamano efe tatwa mwene kuli bakaunda efe tatwa mwene kuli bachiruba efe tatwa mwene kuli bawanawasa efe tatwa mwene kuli bapia banda kuli basata na kuli ba Edgar Lungu twafi mwenepo turefu.
Oh, we've lost that caller. Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you're calling us from. Hello, caller.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Good evening, Ambassador Mwamba.
We can hear you, sir. Make your contributions.
Yes, please. My name is Owen Mugemezulu.
PS.
From Lusaka.
MQI PS, please make your contributions.
Yes, Ambassador. Thank you so much for hosting the forum this evening.
Yes.
First of all, the issue to do with our beloved late president, Ambassador, is a matter that has thoroughly embarrassed us as a country.
Yes.
Ambassador, the question that I keep asking myself is, are we really a Christian nation? And is our president really a church elder that he claims to be?
Yeah.
I know that politicians sometimes like to pick fights, but why in the name of God has he chosen to do this to the Lungu family? I really do not get it. And so far, as you have indicated earlier on, the country seems to be moving on, and our president seems not willing to back down. But the question I have is why and for what purpose? Ambassador, the other issue I would like to address is the issue to do with a comedy that we saw in Tanzania.
Yes.
I know that comedy usually brings laughter, but the Tanzanian one is comedy that led to the death of over 800 people, as reported by the largest opposition party in Tanzania. My comment on President HH's attendance is that the speech that he gave in Tanzania was very, very insensitive. Insensitive to the plight of the people of Tanzania, insensitive to the plight of the opposition, and indeed insensitive to the families that lost loved ones. I know that there have been statements from State House and all over the place that he needed to go there for the sake of our economic ties, but at least there should have been a bit of caution in terms of the words that he used, because it's like he was more on the side of the brutal regime and at the same time just glossing over the issues that the Tanzanians are grappling with. Ambassador, I ask myself, are there normal people in this world that can accept the constitution of Tanzania as it stands today, especially what that constitution says in terms of the powers that it has given to the Independent Electoral Commission? I don't want to dwell much on what their constitution says because the preliminary SADC report highlighted the ugly issues in their electoral laws and practices. But the issues that the largest opposition party, which is Chadema, has with the Electoral Commission in Tanzania are the same issues that we are talking about here in Zambia.
Correct.
When we are dealing with the ECZ. And my plea is that the opposition in Zambia needs to resolve the issue of the ECZ now and not later. Because the issue of the ECZ is unacceptable. We cannot go to August 2026 with a Mickey Mouse Electoral Commission. So I draw parallel with the Independent Electoral Commission of Tanzania and our ECZ here. The issues that those people are complaining about and the issues that we have are just the same. So we can't wait until August. We need to deal with those issues as a matter of urgency. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. And let me address briefly, as we are waiting for more calls, the issue of government and the UPND were advancing an argument that the president needed to attend the inauguration ceremony of President Samia Suluhu Hassan because Zambia and Tanzania enjoy cordial relationship, and Zambia depends, our economic ties, our vehicles, the Dar es Salaam port is very key to our infrastructure, Tazara and Tazama. Now, let's just go briefly to the history of our country. In 1965, the United Nations imposed sanctions against Southern Rhodesia. We didn't have a sea route or seaport. We're using Lobito Corridor, which was through Angola. We were using Beira Mozambique. And, we're using sometimes a pipeline from Beira into Zimbabwe. Then we lift fuel from Zimbabwe. And we're using Durban. President Kaunda ignored the economic crisis that adhering to the sanctions would mean. It meant that we would stop our route to southern Rhodesia, which was Zimbabwe. And remember, Angola and Mozambique were satellite states of Portugal and literally apartheid South Africa. So we immediately, overnight, didn't have a sea route. We began to airlift our copper through Nairobi, airlifting both oil and from Nairobi into Zambia, and then airlifting our copper for exports into Nairobi. That's how resolute President Kaunda was. Here now, we have over 5 routes. In case, for example, Tanzania decided to be funny because we didn't go to their inauguration, you can go through Walvis Bay, Namibia. You can go through Lobito Corridor. It's been opened. You can go through Durban. You can go through Beira. So that argument doesn't no longer hold water. It's very imperative that we respect human rights. It's very imperative that we respect the right of a people over one dictator. A friend of mine was just telling me that that an ambassador, former ambassador to Cuba, went missing on 5th October and he hasn't been seen. He's reported dead. Let me just get his name just quickly. He was Tanzania's ambassador to Cuba. He objected, these are Magufuli's and CCM's children. He's a former district commissioner. And he objected to the manner in which the president and the direction she was taking the country to. So he resigned and came back into the country. They abducted him and is among the many senior officials that have been abducted and killed. 1 month now, we don't know where he is. Let me just get his name. Just a minute so that you can... Because a friend of mine is in the diplomatic circle, so he was just telling me. So his name is Humphrey Polepole. He's been Tanzania's ambassador to Cuba, and last month he resigned prior to election and resigned because he didn't agree with the manner in which the president was taking the country to. And when he came back into the country on 5th, it's been a month, he was abducted and the family doesn't know where he is. And there've been series of abductions of senior people that are critics of President of Tanzania. And the question to President Hakainde Hichilema is, Mr. President, why did South Africa not go for inauguration? Why did Namibia go for inauguration? Why didn't Mnangagwa go for... Even their neighborhood, why didn't Yoweri Museveni go for the inauguration? Why didn't William Ruto go for inauguration? Why didn't the neighbors in Seychelles, Madagascar, Mauritius go to that Imoko Mwapimpire Mwaya? And you are even giving a lecture in that country that people should have no right to protest. Totally careless remarks. Attendance with silence maybe could have. I saw Daniel Chapo, the president of Mozambique. Maybe it's expected. Remember how he also, his election, for 3 weeks there were protests in Maputo and people died. Maybe he's looking for an ally. He's yet to help heal Mozambique. You, Mr. President, you are being accused that you are preparing Zambia to go through the same process. Everything that the Tanzanian president has done is what you are doing. She banned the largest opposition political party. You have stolen the Patriotic Front. You have imposed Chabinga. She manipulated the Independent Electoral Commission. You are doing the same with Mwangala Zalomis. Currently, the voter registration is under suppression in areas where you are not popular, Eastern Province, Northern Muchinga, Luapula Province, and parts of Lusaka and Copper Belt. The voter registration is a sham. The NRC issuance is a sham. But the exercise is going very well in Southern Africa, in Southern Province, Western Province, and parts of Northwestern Province. You have imposed yourself to make a constitution that the people have rejected. The very thing that, Madam Hassan was doing. You are taking us to a path where we may lose more lives than what even Tanzania has lost. You've literally banned the discussion around the Tanzanian election and Tanzanian crisis. Then you have the audacity to go there and even offer a lecture to Tanzania not to demonstrate, fearing that lives will be lost and that instability will arise. In what capacity were you doing that, Mr. President? That's a sovereign state. They have their own individual rights. You cannot go and affirm dictatorship, abuse of power, and massacre.
Reported us genuinely complained, particularly 2 elections, that I took the responsibility and the leadership that I cannot send my men and women, citizens of Zambia, in the streets to damage property, to kill somebody, because that blood will be on my hands. And I said, we will use democratic processes. And we did. And we were patient. Today we've been privileged to lead our country. And we inherited a country which is peaceful. It's our duty to keep our...
Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Emmanuel calling you from Kitwe.
Yes, Emmanuel, make your contributions.
I have a question, Ambassador.
Thank you very much.
Yes. When are you coming back to Zambia?
Thank you.
That's the first question. Then, because you people that are in the diaspora, you have got a lot of views that can convince the voters, but you are not in the country. So, which is something that is very worrying, because you are the people who can campaign, but you are not in the country.
I'm campaigning. You can hear him. You can hear me, my brother.
You are always online. Instead, our friends right now are in the field, and you are always online. How are you going to campaign? Because the majority of the people, not everyone is online nowadays, because we don't have power in Zambia.
Each of them campaigned online. For 1 year we had COVID. He reached you. He reached your supporters. How did he do it? Oh. The man wants to give me a lecture. He has gone. He can call back. He can call back. Today we are discussing those 3 major issues: voter registration, the issues of the late President Edgar Chagwa, and the matter regarding Tanzanian elections. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Thank you, Ambassador Mwamba. This is Nyangwe Dani.
Yes, Mr.
First and
Dani.
foremost, before I say anything about Mwamba, I just want to take this opportunity to say thank you, Mwamba.
Yes.
You don't know what you've done for Zambians. Zambians don't have a platform where they can come out and say what they are saying. You've provided that platform, Mwamba, and God continue blessing you. Sometimes people think it's easy, but I like the way you do your research, and then the way you've brought us up close to the reality of what is happening to Zambia.
Yes.
I'll have 2 things to say, Mwamba. My first appeal is Zambians, no matter what you are doing, no matter what is standing in your way, go and register. Get that registration voters card. That is what we need more than anything else. You know why we need that? Because we know someone has been trying to play Migalato, and they will say, no, people didn't register. But the more we register, the more would kick them out of power. And this is going to be done. Second, Mwamba, you see, the thing is, we are people come and say many things about, oh, we don't like this government because of where they are coming from and everything. And I'll go back to the founder, president of Zambia, one Zambia, one nation. So today, if we are going to promote the one Zambia, one nation, look at this way, Mwamba. I don't want you to give me the answer. The majority of praise singers, they come from one region. Today, look at the appointments that have been done. And I'm glad that our elder brother, before they were even done, the one in South Africa, I'd said it before and it happened. And then here's a man who is going to say, we are promoting equality and promoting non-tribalism. But you are the person who is always practicing it. Why do you have to move only one type of people from a certain region to hold certain positions? Zambia is for all Zambians. And we need to remember the words of Bakaunda. Bakaunda, to come up with one Zambia, one nation, it is not just something that he came and thought, no, I'll give it to Zambians. That is the foundation of Zambia. Ama Zambians, before I take much time over Mwamba, you look at what you're going through. Load shedding, no, but it's part of your life, and you are going to allow that when it comes 2026. Let's open our eyes and do the right thing.
Thank you very much.
Promising us heaven. Yeah, thank you, Mwamba. Thank you. God bless you.
Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Hello, good evening, Mwamba. Good evening. This is Don Oscar. I'm calling from Italy.
Yes, Father.
Good evening, all the viewers. Thank you very much. Interesting program, and especially that you are covering the latest messages, the latest news in our country, and I think what has happened in Tanzania is very interesting. Well, Honorable Mwamba and our colleagues who are listening to us, especially our beloved citizens in Zambia, this morning when I woke up in the morning, after listening to what happened, what transpired in Tanzania, everyone, all of us, we saw that it was quite horrible in the sense that when we saw the people who are being killed, unalived, let me use this word, people were being unalived, and it was terrible. That's being empathetic. Having empathy, I could not smile looking at the piles of all the hundreds and hundreds of people lying down in cold blood. Now, this morning on Channel 5, it's called Channel 5, one of the main channels here in Italy, I just I saw that that was the number 5 title on the TV station. They carried the story in Tanzania, and the Foreign Affairs Minister, the Italian Foreign Affairs Minister, issued a statement because you know that in Tanzania, just like our president and the UPND, they were saying that Zambia has interest in Tanzania. You know very well the Italians, technicians, engineers, they have also a lot of responsibility in Tanzania, not only the Italians, but I think many foreign countries, the Chinese, they have a lot because it's a big depot and big business area. So now the Foreign Affairs Minister issued a statement that they had contacted all the Italians staying in Tanzania, and all of them, they were safe. No one lost his life. And the country had ordered a private plane to go and take all the Italians in Tanzania to bring them back to Italy, pending the sanity of that state. Now, why do I give this example, Mwamba? Why do I give this example? I think even our friends in the UPND, this is not just a question of politics. This is the question of Ubuntu. Human, to be human, to cry. The book of Ecclesiasticus will tell us that you cry with the people who are crying. You rejoice with the people who are rejoicing. You mourn with the people who are mourning. So this is just humanity. UPND. It's not always that you should put politics in front of our discussions. Seeing that here in Italy, seeing the face of our president on TV, and they were indicating that these are the only presidents who went there and who participated, and it's very sad. It was so sad. I felt bad. I don't hate. We don't hate that kind of dilemma, but such type of actions. I mean, it is history now. This is a history, and all of us, the Zambian friends, Emmanuel Mwamba, you're on a platform. Beautiful arguments that you bring here. What has happened? That is history, and for our friends who are ruling in the country, in our beloved country, Zambia, history can never be cancelled. What has happened in Tanzania, soon or later, justice will prevail. I don't know how many years it will take. Justice shall prevail. No one can rejoice when more than 500 people have lost their lives. No one can rejoice. So can we learn, comrades? Can we learn from some of these things? It came into my mind what happened in Mufumbo. It came into my mind what happened in Open Pit, Chingola Open Pit Mine. It came in my mind now what is happening. What happened in Libya? It came into my mind a lot of injustices. What is happening in the northern part of Nigeria? We love our country. Indeed, President Hakainde Hichilema was right when he said the former president has really defended the peace in our country and stability and the democracy. On this point, he was correct. Kaunda defended. He fought for the independence of our neighbors. He sacrificed the comfort of our countrymen to go and defend the peace in our neighbors. So, this is history, but it's a sad history. And I end up there on that comment on Valungu's issue. We will keep on praying for the body of Israel. We will keep on having respect for the body. It is sad that some people that would insult even the body of Israel up to today. It is very embarrassing. Even here, we ask for humanity. If we use Ubuntu, we cannot rejoice and we cannot insult a body who is not yet being buried. So on that one also, we sympathize with Madam Esther Lungu. May God bless you, Madam Esther Lungu. You are not alone. You are not alone. We put ourselves as if you are my mother. I'll think about you and I say, what if you were my mother and such a thing has happened to you? How do I feel? And indeed, Edgar Chagwa was the father of the nation for the country. So the pain that you are going through is the pain that we as also children, we are going through. We have condolences. We'll keep on praying for you, Madam Esther Lungu. We will pray for the government to give justice to the widow, to give justice to the orphans of Edgar Chagwa. And the last thing now is just to encourage the Zambian people, go and register. And I make an appeal to the government. This is the last word I'm going to say. I make an appeal.
Thank you. Thank you, Father. Thank you very much. Thank you, Father.
Can I just finish the appeal, please?
Oh, what's the appeal, Father?
Yes, the people are complaining regarding the voter registration and the turnout. Let democracy prevail. Your Excellency Hakainde Hichilema, use the power that you have to call the people at ECZ to invest in this practice, the registering of the Zambian voters, and by so doing, maybe you can suspend the Bill 7 and all its proceedings. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you. Good appeal. Thank you.
Usually it is very good to strike whilst the iron is still hot. Or in my mother's language, they used to say that Ushiku mufuiden sofu, Neria shirivapan sofu. So let me also throw in the wisdom according to Kayamba Kasonso. What HH did over the weekend to go to Tanzania and go and be the starting of that the inauguration of the female president from Tanzania was very, very shameful, very shameful and very unwise. We know that he has a very good relationship with that lady. We don't know the degree of the relationship or what it's all about. But generally, statesmen don't go to get involved in a conflict situation that has not been resolved, and try to shove through the throat of people a forced solution. Yes, HH was a guest of honor, but a guest of honor of a dishonorable election. A guest of honor of a dishonorable election in a neighboring area, and where the people of that country are very, very upset. HH, as a guest of honor at that function, appeared as the Grand Master of Operation, the GMO, the Grand Master of Operation. And he also appeared as an EDP, the enforcer of divisive politics. Enforcer of divisive politics. And he also appeared as a defender of rigged elections, a DRE. And he starred there, all in one person. You know, that is how people stoke up conflict. Those people who are upset in Tanzania, that woman should have provided leadership and not forced the situation. If she wanted to force the situation, that is not a situation where HH should have gone there to put the face of Zambia on what is brewing and hurting in Tanzania. We do not insert ourselves in unresolved conflicts. HH n'abantu bakwete mano. HH talindira okwekokola ku United Nations taireko. Kuri basadiki ku Madagascar taireko aleka la kungandata lelo sha. Ichitumbi tatira esi chabalungu. Finisha ile mukutsa Tanzania. O iyi hypocrisy no bumbunda bakwa HH. Numba fwe ba moto amba nokula fo kula kwata nozja. Tulefo kuluka. Nangukuba ko hypocrite wabosha kutuma degrees punch not ule kwere kama degrees muli hypocrisy. No, you cannot insert yourself in an unresolved conflict. When one of the founders of Chama cha Mapinduzi from Tanzania came to Zambia at a moment of crisis, when the father of the nation, Kenneth Kaunda, was imprisoned at Mukoweko, Julius Kambarage Mwalimu Nyerere came to fight for the weaker guy who was being oppressed. He didn't come to enforce Chiluba's position. No. That is called wisdom. That is what great leaders do. You go and identify yourself with the people who are weak in the situation, not to enforce the position of the powerful. We raise 2026 to allow Patako take over Mbimwe. Yeah. But what Nimwa yalo washowa. Fionse kulu fianya. Fionse kulu fianya. Fionse fie. What kind of people advises you, Kanshva Mdala? Fionse kulu fianya. You don't insert yourself in an unresolved conflict. Tanzania right now is an unresolved conflict. opposition leaders are being jailed, and they're being excluded from the election. And then even the way the election was done, the whole people, they are in arms on the street. No. People, if there is tension in another country, you don't rush there. You seek to understand the tension and you help to diffuse the tension, not to go and take a side immediately. No. What you did, Dimoba HH, was not wise. And I condemn you, Mushina Kwatata, Neria Mwana, Neria Mpashwa Mushiro. What you did in Tanzania was very shameful. You don't insert a poor country like Zambia in an unresolved conflict. Abena Tanzania bengi poku tuchila. Nga mwai vundu muno kwa bena Zambia tawakalaya walabe ele mwai ele mkutisa opress baye. Walabe ele mupatikishe tuwa.
Hello caller, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Ambassador, I hope mulifie wino.
Lesale tupala shukuru mulisha na imwe.
Na ifwe panono kwena ni John Mabokono ku Italy ambassador.
Thank you very much.
In June 5th, ambassador, we lost our former president. If you go at him for Watontonga Pang for ya, I would talk with Tefibakateka. Zambia as a former head of state, then to them for connection with Tanzania Vanesu, to Ariuko Kurom, to celebrate Independence Day celebrations. Then to Apitako Vatican Radio Kuria, Korva Zambian, to them Mona. You know, in the Zambians in Italy, we have a lot of excellent and outstanding individuals.
Oh, nice.
Sana. And the Catholics, some priests, ambassador, we celebrated well. Zambia's Independence Day in Milan, we held celebrations in Milan and also in Rome. The priests, the Catholics always come in, they offer a venue for free, then to have a token of appreciation. Rome, Queen, my sisters, we have Father Eustace, MC, Avantu Sana. These people, I'm very grateful to the Catholic faithful in Italy, Zambians. But better night Vatican Radio, there was a sister, she was from Tanzania. We are very sorry for what's happening. We know Tila Zambia fina wenda pafia tazara na tazam then history to akwata. Na ifu tuwarenda feta hawe na ifu mtuwelele kumwandi ni because tuwadishi wati kudifile chitika rimbi na besu baka yako. No mbama watermelons ambassador. Ama watermelons vari vazi. Na vari mtumina po ama phone ama watermelons aba kwa tipunse vari ranisha kwa tiniva green muka tiniva red. So na imwe mware chita pretend. Domba na mupia na red yenu na imyocha na mupia ndewe wati ukutuachia kuvatika na vantu vachira chita a certain man, she was apologizing wale tukosha filia. Domba imono kulanda tamule landa was telling them about this encounter with the nanny at the Vatican Radio kuja kuro. Ambassador lana wongwa abantu ni papa no papa. I think disappointment na iya nomba na ifika na kuma bonds kubantu badeba na lemeba poyo ne fotu itatama watermelons. So don't decide lelo ndio mfwa kuba vindicated sana na ti mwema watermelons na bale mfwa kona chuo mfwa mo bachira tumano tumefifine na mupye mulapire museba nya Zambia na iseba na chalo ambassador nice abantu abade tuma abantu kula fuku tomati Seychelles na ku Madagascar tokota kwa my friends okula tuma ma phone bare ipshata what's happening in your country and what's the problem we heard that Zambia was among the inauguration ya Tanzania. Did you see what was happening in Tanzania? Please update me what's happening. Kumlandu Ansoni. Aba kuma Madagascar nshibani bari bayichere twari na bera ku university bari tuchindika fia so kufura ne fia kuchita bati emkwa ina chilafa fikulanda kwa tawe ambassador tuli wonse na mukulosha emkwa ile rofi. Yeah.
Thank you, Amabo from Italy. Thank you so much. Thank you, and thank you for that update. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Good evening, Ambassador Mwamba. How are you today?
I'm very well, thank you. Good evening.
Thank you so very much. My name is Dr. Jedidiah Ndlovu from the Opposition Front.
Thank you, Dr. Ndlovu.
Forum. Yeah. Ambassador, I would like just to talk about two things. Firstly, about the very thing that our president went to Tanzania, especially when the situation was not yet fully, solved. That side, up to now, there's still tension in the country. I feel that it's important sometimes when there's tension, even in the neighbor's house, you keep away because you become part of the problem. We are not saying he shouldn't have gone there. He should have gone there, but sometimes it's good to have sensitivity. I wonder what happens to some of his advisors, because sometimes such a move is not just taken individually. There are people around that should have spoken into the situation to say, look, let them sort out themselves and then we'll go there later. I'm sure presidents like President Ramaphosa will definitely get there at some point and even be able to speak into the situation amicably and be able to offer a sense of direction in that matter. That's the first thing. The second thing, I would like just to express, I think, a concern over our current way of talking about national issues. I feel that we are more focused on what is to be wrong and deficiencies more than we are focused on what we want. Because as a psychologist, personally, I would tell you, if you focus so much more on what you want to get rid of, you end up either perpetuating it or getting something that is worse than what you had previously. That's the same mistake we made when we were bringing in the UPND government. We were bringing in the UPND government not because they gave us a better manifesto than the PF, but because we were so desperate to get rid of the PF, and we ended up getting something worse. I'm not really saying that objectively, of course subjectively, because I know that there are also some UPND people that are watching. I would like Ambassador Mwamba to say that it would be important at this point in time for us to focus so much more on what we want instead of what we do not want, because there's so much talk about the very thing that is a wrong thing, and we all always say that if you keep on asking somebody who's learning to drive to watch the sides of the road, chances are that they will veer off the road, and that's what happens. We are where we are because since 1991, our voting patterns have been getting rid of what we want to avoid, and whatever is coming in is never properly scrutinized. We remember last year, Ambassador Mwamba, the UPND government, before they came into power, remember the what you call the manifesto? It wasn't it about 17 pages that they were giving us, or 37 pages if I'm not mistaken. So literally they told us they do not have a plan. But because we were so desperate to get rid of the PF, look at where we are right now. Even when they produced that booklet, the cell phone booklet, as their achievements, I mean, you would wonder what is really going on. But we are also partly to blame as Zambian people, because we talk more about what we want to get rid of, and we are not talking about what should come in. People that are coming in, everybody that wants to become president must be able to show us good signs, and they should not just talk about getting rid of what we do not want. We know we do not want the UPND government, but what is it that we want? Or else we will end up having a mental paralysis, and when we go into voting, we might end up making the mistake of bringing back the very thing we wanted to avoid. That's what I just wanted to say, Ambassador Honorable Mwamba. Thank you so very much.
Thank you very much, my brother, and thank you. God bless you. And you are right. We need to concentrate on solutions. Solutions will help us, but unfortunately, we have to concentrate also on the bad, highlight it, so then that we can provide the solutions. Dear viewers, today we're hosting an analysis on the various issues affecting our country. We're remembering the late president, Dr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu. Is 5 months and he hasn't been put to rest. It's 5 months since we lost him, and government appears not to put as much effort as they did when they tried to prevent the burial and decisions of the family. Now that the family agreed to a settlement through a negotiator, government seems to have no longer even shown interest, and we're asking you to make comments. We're also talking about the voter registration, where there seems to be a deliberate voter suppression exercise in northern Muchinga, Luapula, parts of Copperbelt and parts of Lusaka, where the entire exercise in the entire duration has been marred by irregularities, lack of material, lack of power, lack of genset, lack of fuel, lack of everything. Yet the exercise has been going very well in southern, as we saw in Western Province, where the chairperson Mwangala Zalomis was visiting. We're also discussing the Tanzanian elections, the region Shandad elections. I think only 3 to 5 heads of states out of a number of almost 25 turned up. That's the lowest number for inauguration I've ever seen in the region. Even East Africa, shunned that inauguration. But our president went there and gave a huge lecture, a matter that has attracted criticism, not just in Zambia, but across Africa. We have John Sangwa and Dolika, a power couple, power team that is coming on the program. Look forward to it. We'll be advertising soon when we are hosting it. But the next lineup is Sangwa. John and Dolika are coming to the program. And let's come and interrogate their movement. Where is it? Where is it going? I heard Binwa Mpundu, and the following day, the speaker suspended him from parliament. Something terrible, something unacceptable, something that our speaker has been known to suspend the rights of our people. So look forward to John and Dolika that are coming as a power team to the broadcast. They should tell us about their movement. God bless you. And I may find time when the lineup is complete in the Patriotic Front of aspiring candidates. Currently, there are members that are paying up as members of the Central Committee and as presidents. Let's see if we can profile some of the candidates that are vying for the position of presidency in the Patriotic Front. Vamwewa is a regular caller of ours, but he's calling only after we've ended the broadcast. But maybe because he's such a passionate caller, maybe let me... Vamwewa. Awe na tuisala broadcast. Inendela ya pano. Endita. Make your contributions quickly before we close.
First of all,
Let's let Parliament one shana iwe.
Nde poshako na Zambians bonse abade kutika kuri program parikana nokashita. No mbali ni apanatira umfwa picha pangireba makebi zuru kusa Africa church, where he described the Adungu Bari Teaka game, and then there was a puzzle that he asked, and then I asked him, what does that mean? Then Makebi Zulu, he was lost. Then later on, Arungu Bashem was cut. If there is anything that we must not lose, it is hope. No matter what happens, I'm encouraging Zambians. wasatoba okutira nti tamugwirete mwaruzi na hope abamwamba ifi kitika mukyalo kyesu muno napeshukupa sana and ifi bakitire bakateeka besu fyakoba okutira ti kuma elections ukwagwira abantu ekubaya mukulanda it is something that is very, very unfortunate. Pantu, Tanzania, we had a lot of interest because most of the Zambian business community, they order their products from Tanzania. So Tanzania is a very strategic economic country for Zambia in so many areas. Oil. So when somebody is in charge of a country, wherever he goes, whatever he does, he represents that country. So like the previous scholar watch that from Italy, where he's saying that people are calling from other, those Africans are calling them. So what's happening to your country? What's happening to your country? What's happening to Zambia? What's happening to Zambia? They're not mentioning the name of the current president there. They're saying what is happening to Zambia. So whatever that the president does is representing the country and is representing 22 million, over 22 million people. So now where you have got a lot of imprisonments, some imprisonments, some of them are futakali. We umulandu bale saving abana kachini. Dolo umulandu takwa about. Dolo umulandu ba out 2022. If I remember very well, it was somewhere on the 3rd of December 2022. Dolo umulandu wa shire forward defamation of the president. Today, this is 2025, November. Umulandu wa 2022. Muntu ali kuchifungu so. Na beo pa kumupira na chishupa. Now, you look at also a scenario where they are promoting lawlessness. Chavinga, ego bika register. Chavinga takwa election. Chavinga ascend the UP of president through dubious means, and ego beta in alliance partner. Mouse and price are in a consent. Ukobati. Bali sumino kobati, their convention it was illegal. Up to now, bali filo kusaina consent. Bamamba, muri uko America, not because you want to be there. Muri uko America, you are a presidential candidate. Among us, the people that paid over, those that paid 200,000 questions. That's not small money. But you are not in Zambia. You are not here to campaign for your presidency in PF. What wrong did you do? Takuli, you just spoke. And most Zambians most people have gone to jail because of the mouth. The internet is censored. People are living in fear. Most scholars here on this platform, they will tell you that it's anonymous. Bamwamba, today my elections. Look at what is happening with ECZ. Look at what is happening with voter suppression. There's voter suppression. All these schemes are telling us something. What I'm calling Bamwamba, Zambians is that I'm a science na afla. Look at how people lost seats, MPs. Look at where JJ Banda is. What did he do? JJ Banda was abducted. But he was under the sun. Someone who is in charge of the country, lawlessness is TK. So if you have got someone who is abusing those powers, it becomes a problem. So Zambians should wake up.
Thank you, Vamwewa. Thank you, Vamwewa. Much to encourage other callers. I can see Emkwai. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. I can see people are encouraged to call. Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from. Father Mwabombeni.
Emkwaye awe kwena aramura tumfisha wiro wa Mwamba we instuma wura le sale ni pala fie uwa chano waila so na chikwata fe request wana sampo maranda ti wakesa wasangwa na wadorika very soon so number e request na kwata yeno. I have this request now towards you. If the ECZ and the government are not going to extend the voter registration and the NRC verification process, if they are not going to extend, why? No, not why. I'm requesting to you. Can you please dedicate these few days which are remaining on the same topic? I think it is on the 11th of November, probably they are going to conclude. If at all the government is not going to extend the process, so why can't you dedicate these few days which are remaining, Mr. Emmanuel Mwamba?
Thank you, my brother. We will consider. Thank you for. Kwa hivyo tuombele chalo. Tulinkaya milimo ya chalo, so we'll consider. Thank you very much.
You can open our lines. Problems. Tell them, make an appointment. Let them inform you what is happening. Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Bamwambani ne anonymous.
Mkwaiwa anonymous.
Mkwaye. I just wanted to also add a voice to the disappointment that we have had. Kuli ababa kateka twa vikire po mubukalifye twaumfo obukali umlandu wafe twale shingwana na fena ba PF, and then out of emotion twabavotela elo baisa tulanga nomba ma true colors ala chadi tuponya pamusao and chansoni sana nature akulisha sana okuleta ensoni nili baile ku Tanzania nokuyachita endorse dictatorship ya mchalo chimbi nokutulanga ati kanshina bena efyo baba batupela a preview of what we should expect in 2026. However, pali bonsa Zambians abaletu maku program yenu for the longest time seeking for the opposition to come together and saying no, the only thing that will liberate us is if the opposition come together and unite. Much as I agree with that, I can also state here on your program unequivocally, even if we have 100,000 opposition presidential candidates, Kasongo Teta ikwanishe 50% plus one vote. Nolo ine without being known naisa iminina kuzambia as presidential candidate with no political history. Kasongo taka imone 50 plus 1. And that's the hope we should hold on to as Zambians. Because in next year's election, ndemiebe chinkecha temwalesa tukakwata a rerun of that election. Whether or not we are the opposition unite, which would be a plus if they do. But even if they don't, Kasongo won't have 50% plus one vote.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Let me take the last caller. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
I'm calling from Montana.
Yes, sir. Dr. Gilbert Kalonde.
Yes.
Or are you coming as anonymous in Binaulu Nkama? Oh, shame.
na chilala so nasavuka nasanga mlepo show
Emkwa.
Awa Mwamba na imu show yenu lepo wangu sana nomba abantu nabakwate chilaka chakulanda uno futi abantu nabakwate fyakulanda fingi sana
Emkwa.
nomba elio mwalishi wa mumulinchenshi tabidi wakatungulula nga chakwe bati mwambo kula chitakula itifya show mwala pela chance wa UPND ukutwalira okulanda nokwepa abantu obufi so
Doctor, we've been discussing, it's been 2 hours.
awo 2 hours yachepa wa Mwamba ife chitika kumuchalo nafichira pali 2 hours abantu kuchula balechula tabalechula for 2 hours so mufile mwala konkanya pautila ati amashuyi abantu yamfuika impanga yonse so ndemipusha kufema kuti mwala alunda kopa nono pautila ati ngafefe achibaba mwape bachicherwa na nefune nachero kwisa mfako mwalunda kopa nono akashita nukuno tuli namune nshita efoid yeah so mulunda kwa akashita pa nono pautila ati mwafisha kuka 3 hours nangu ka 4 hours
Kwa hiyo load shedding nowadays ushafoni kuti hai katika 4 hours
inenga ndefu ndaba Mwamba. There are some days when I have 2 hours of standing and teaching the lofo feel nuka kunstwa kwa bati gonna share man 2 hours in Delanda. It's kind of tough sometimes no kumnofinde mfokulwala but na mwishiwa mumulekala ko na abantu balelanda ko participate mlepsha so tume pusho some of them leading some of them some kind of exploring so let's increase some time number kono to Africa kono nomba niku ekuli nkondo yes tuangela nomba munkondo mwaka mutushere nao
Emkwai.
So ni yabanda tiche ukonko olubiro na uchikonko olubiro.
That is true. Yo, wa professor naumfwa abakala manga balanda will consider. Thank you very much.
Natasha wa Mwamba.
Thank you. Hello caller, please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Good evening, Ambassador.
Good evening.
You can hear me?
Yes, I've been reprimanded that I should take all callers.
Okay, Ambassador. We've been around together during the days of London, but my point is like the previous caller. Akashtakale chepa. Mulundeko, please.
Mwe bantu wakolesa 2 hours ile chepa.
Ile chepa. Ambassador, the problems are so enormous that 2 hours you cannot summarize them in 2 hours.
Yeah. No,
my contribution is on this thing that happened in Tanzania.
Yes.
You say Tanzania and us were brothers. Tanganyika, if you go to Mbala, all the people in Mbala, they all hail from Tanzania. You go to the southern part of Zambia, we all come from the Goas, and they all come from Zimbabwe and Zambia. The thing is, it was very unfortunate to go and legitimize what Sadiq called a sham, if I may use your term.
Yeah.
And for Zambians, here in Lusaka, especially on the voter registration, there is a big problem. The advertising part of it, or sensitization, has not come through. Many people don't know that there's voter registration in Lusaka. That I can tell you. Whether I'm coming from low residential area or go to the high density areas. Okay? We've got a problem. Some polling stations, ECZ should have sensitized a lot of people. I used to vote closer to my house here. Hello, Ambassador?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, I used to vote from the polling station closer to my house. it's a Korean center or something like that. But my colleagues went there to go and register. They lost their NRCs. They were told that the polling station is no longer a polling station.
Oh.
On the aspect of telling people that this polling station, they should have advertised that these polling stations are no longer valid. So you need to go and re-register or change your polling station. All of us who are within my neighborhood, we all know that we are going to vote in 2026 at the same polling station. But that polling station has been scrapped off. No one has explained, no advertisements to say that these polling stations are no longer valid. So you choose the nearest polling station. On the voter registration, I think it's been a sham. I think that's my contribution, Ambassador.
Thank you very much, my brother. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from. Good evening.
Ambassador Mwamba.
Good evening.
I'm one of the ladies, you know me very well. Yes, I'm one of the people here in diaspora. I just want to give you a word of encouragement. First and foremost, I would like to thank you so much, for having actually reached to every one of us wherever we are. Yes, I know most of the people are crying for you to get back home, but it's not easy. Because I don't think you would have loved to be somewhere else and not to be in Zambia to help out. Yes, everyone knows the reason why you are there. So please, if you hear people maybe pointing out, saying, would you mind to come back home? Don't take it personal. It's just that, most of them are so desperate, and they know very well that a lot of people are out, people who should actually talk for us. So I just wanted to give you a word of advice.
Thank you.
Doing what you're doing, because your program, I think, has been one of the most pronounced one and heard. You've reached everyone, and you are actually campaigning. Your voice has gone everywhere in the world, and people should appreciate this. This is what I wanted to tell you. Sorry for taking your time. I know you've closed your program, but I just wanted to contribute. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. I'm so grateful, Mayo. Thank you for the Ndita Natasha Sana. Thank you for that word of encouragement. Professor Gilbert Kalonde was saying, no, even 2 hours is not enough. Zambians need to speak. I understand and I appreciate. We'll try as much as possible. I was closing the program, but I was forced to take those calls because we want to accommodate as many of you as possible. I was stating that we will be hosting a power team, John and Dolika. They are coming on. Remember, they came on this program as separate individuals pursuing the presidency. Now they are coming together and they are working together. They've also enlisted Jackson Silav, a Golden Party president, is also working with their movement. Where are we with the movement? Where are they going? How is their recruitment exercise? How are they reaching out to other members of the opposition? Just how do the two visions gel together into one? The 10-point plan by John Sangwa and the revolutionary, visionary, economic revolutionary approach by Dolika Banda, and then Golden Slavwe, who's been a young politician, but he's been there for some time. So tune in for John Sangwa, who will tell you the date when the two are ready, because we are hosting the two. They have to sync the times, but it is as soon as possible. So until next time, God bless you and shalom, shalom. God bless our country. We'll speak to you later.
Today we stand at a crossroads, not just of politics, but of conscience. The passing of our humble president, Mr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu, is not only a moment of mourning, it is a moment of reckoning. Let this be a message to every future politician of Zambia. Power is not a crown. It is a responsibility. You are not above the people. You are born of them. You are raised by their trust, and you are judged by how you honor it. What we witnessed during President Lungu's health challenges must never happen again. No family should be dragged through courtrooms while grieving. No widow should plead for dignity. No orphan should wait for justice to bury their father. This is not the Zambia we were meant to be. Let us start over. Let us rebuild, not just our institutions, but our hearts. Let the death of President Lungu remind us that we are each other's keeper. That love is not weakness, it is our greatest strength. That the Bible commands us to care for the widow, the orphan, and the stranger. And that true leadership begins with compassion. We only have one Zambia. Let us raise her high, not with slogans, but with service. Let us show love, not just in words, but in action. Let us unite, not just in grief, but in purpose. To the Lungu family, we are with you. To every citizen, your pain matters. To every leader, your legacy begins now. One Zambia, one nation, one heart.